Welcome everybody to a special birthday edition of Strong Style here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha. It is my birthday, and my man over here to my right, I'm so thankful that he's riding shotgun with me today on my birthday on Strong Style like he does every week. That's the great Aaron Turner. How are you, man?
Good, man. Rocking my Andrade shirt. Thank you, WWE Shop, for the great deal that they had on a bunch of T-shirts. So I got the Iconics, Andrade, and I got some other ones for pretty cheap. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. I saw they had the $12 sale. Then today they have the buy two for one, or get the second one for $1 or something like that. So I may have to buy some shirts myself there, Aaron. That's for sure.
A lot of good sales.
All right, thanks so much.
A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff in the WWE Shop.
Right on. You look at level 2 trading. So you guys not even taking today off? No, we don't take days off, son. That's not how we're built. We don't do that kind of stuff. We play. We are here to stay.
No days off.
That's right. I don't believe in it. Vince McMahon doesn't believe in it, so I don't believe in it. That's how it works. Great stuff. We got about 14-year-old watching us right now live. It's going to be a lot of fun hanging out today. We're going to watch later on. We're going to watch in the show, probably the next 15, 20 minutes. We're going to get into it. We're going to watch Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker from Wrestlemania 25. Just having a little fun, doing a little watch along today. We're going to cover a couple of news stories before we get into it, but then that's going to be basically it. So feel free to send in your super chats into Streamlabs as we're watching this thing, whereas we're talking about these news stories. But today is just hang out and have some fun watching a great wrestling match. And I personally can't wait to get into it because I'm such a massive fan of this match and of what we're going to be discussing as we get into all the particulars here with this match for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. It's a long one, so if you've got, I don't know if did you put the match link in the chat or something?
Oh
like that?
I'll put the match link in the chat right now. Actually,
that way everybody can follow along.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just when you get there, when you click on the link, immediately go to pause and keep it at 0. It's not going to be like that one disaster we had where it was a bunch of ads because it was in German. There's no ads on this one, so we should be able to go straight through. It's a long one. It's about 43 minutes. It's got the preamble and everything else in it. So we're going to go probably through the news pretty quick to make sure we get to that. So
there we go. All right, putting the link in the chat right now. It's on the Daily Motion. So you guys should be able to watch it there, wherever you've got internet or Wi-Fi. And I'm even going to put it in the description here as we're doing the show. Anyway, so we're going to get to all of that. Thank you all so much for joining us. And listen, I know it's my birthday. I should take the day off. But talking pro wrestling is just like having a birthday. It's something I enjoy doing. It brings me a lot of joy. And I enjoy the people I get to hang out and do it with. So to me, it's just like an extension of my birthday today, getting to do that. So, and thank you to Aaron for being flexible enough to let me pick what match we can watch today. And I'm excited to get into it. But Aaron, take us away. What do we got first here in the news?
All right, so I feel like when we talk about AEW a lot, we talk about bad stuff, and here's another one that's bad. AEW wrestler Alex Reynolds, one part of the Dark Order, they have several members, but he's one part, was knocked unconscious during the main event of AEW Dynamite. If you guys didn't see this, there's at one point in the match where Private Party jumps from opposite ends of the ring and crashes down on Reynolds, and you could absolutely tell he is knocked completely unconscious. He's not moving. He laid there. I clocked it for 1 minute and 12 seconds.
Wow.
Before anybody did anything. They kept going with the match. His body was drug over to the corner and tagged out by the Blade of Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah.
And then he was even back in the match and took a bulldog and a knee to the face.
Jesus.
From Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks. So Alex Reynolds, I mean, I appreciate the tough guy mentality.
Right.
And he did walk out under his own power after the match was over, but it took a while. And it's just one of these things, again, where people will criticize AEW. I will criticize AEW for this for sure. You have a guy in Rick Knox as the referee, a veteran referee that should know better. The Young Bucks, who are not young to this business anymore, that should know better. You have Braxton Sutter, a.k.a. the Blade, who's a veteran of this business that should know better. Yeah. And really, the only guys that I'm really going to give a pass to for this is Private Party, because they're young guys, and I don't think they knew what they did.
Yeah.
And it was an accident. Obviously, it wasn't meant to happen, but you can't have somebody lay there in the middle of the ring and you guys keep doing spots and step over his lifeless body laying there. It's absolutely insane. It's irresponsible. He could have gotten hurt so much worse. He's lucky that he didn't.
Yeah.
And it's just a crazy thing to see. What did you think when you saw it?
It just blew my mind because I'm just like, why? Because the referees this is supposed to be the sign of a serious injury or a serious issue. So why wasn't that notice given to the back? Why weren't people who were watching along at the back like immediately jumping in to kind of alter the match or change the match and pull him out of this thing? And like you said, the referee is supposed to be in charge of this guy. So most of the times the referee or the ref, is the one who kind of adjusts the match and calls it off or whatever. So I don't know what the logical reason was behind this. On the heels of the Matt Hardy thing, dude, this just stinks. Basically, that's it. I'm not trying to cast aspersions on Cody Rhodes or on anybody involved with AEW, but this stinks. This does not look good. And when you're starting out trying to build a brand, trying to build a name, having these kinds of incidents when you're going up against a juggernaut like the WWE does not look good on you, especially when you're trying to claim that you are separate from the WWE. And your big complaint about the WWE was how they didn't take care of their wrestlers well, or how they don't have contracts. How they don't have benefits for these wrestlers. How they don't have all these kinds of things. But here you are having a match, one where a guy jumps off a scaffold onto concrete and hits the back of his head and is allowed to finish a match. And then this situation where a guy gets accidentally knocked unconscious and then nothing happens to stop the match and to pull him out of it. That is stuff that you don't want to see in a big up-and-coming federation like AEW, for sure. And what's-his-face, who made that debut at the same pay-per-view where Matt Hardy got knocked out, almost slipped off that rope and broke his neck. So it's those kinds of things that are kind of starting to accumulate now that make you unsettled. Look at this picture. This is them dragging his lifeless body. I mean, not lifeless, obviously, but his unconscious body to the corner of the ring. What is the point of something like this, Aaron? What are you trying to prove? We all have the suspension of disbelief, but if someone's really injured, you put that aside to take care of these guys, because next time it could be you.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. It reminded me of like in UFC when the referee doesn't stop the fight quick enough after a knockout, and they're just pounding on some dude's like unconscious body. Shit's really dangerous, man. Like I can't explain enough how dangerous that is to do that. And I understand the mentality of I'm going to be tough and grit it out, and I'm going to go back in there with my bell rung.
Of course.
You don't have to do that anymore. From what we know about CTE and concussions, you don't have to do that anymore. People will understand if you don't want to go back in there if you're getting your bell rung. And WWE is not innocent in this either. If you recall, Brie Bella stiff kicking Liv Morgan in the head, and she continued with the match. Like, don't forget about that.
Yeah, that's right.
That definitely happened. So it's both sides. I mean, Finn Balor just had his jaw broken by Kyle O'Reilly's knee, so it's not like accidents don't happen. But this kind of irresponsibility to just leave a guy laying there.
Yeah.
I don't care who he is. Like, if it was Cody, I feel like if it was Cody laying there, somebody would have done something. Because
Randy would have ran out the back. Are you kidding?
There you go. Yeah. Because it's Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order, there's like, we'll get to him. I hope that's not the case. He did. I do want to bring up what Alex Reynolds did say about it.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey guys, just wanted to thank everyone for all the concerns of my health. It means the world to me. I truly believe the ref and our doctor handled the situation great on Wednesday's show. Injuries happen in wrestling, but I feel completely safe with our team here. Thanks again. Looking forward to seeing you very soon." So, I mean,
what else is he going to
say? Of course he's going to. Yeah, he's going to toe the company line and feel like nothing's wrong. But man, it's such. Alex Reynolds is a guy that's been in the Indies for a long time, and he finally gets his shot in AEW, and this happens. Like I feel very bad for him.
Yeah,
and I mean, even like Ray Phoenix on the same show hurt his neck in his match with his brother Penta L0M, and it's just like, damn, dude. Like, do we need to calm down on these high spots a little bit? Is this what's happening? Like, I'm not sure how to fix this situation, but you cannot do that. You cannot be irresponsible in this day and age. To let him go back in the match. Like, okay, maybe you didn't catch it right away, but you cannot let him go back in the match and get kicked in the face. Like, you can't do that.
At this point, there has to be some kind of outcry for this, because this is starting to become a pattern, man. And yes, wrestlers get injured all the time. That's part of the game. But when you're seeing them get injured at this level, the severity of the injury, those don't happen all the time. The possible dangerous nature of this injury and the nature of Matt Hardy's injury, I mean, that doesn't happen all the time, or else you'd have these places getting shut down, or you'd have people suing or whatever if it was a consistent situation. But it isn't. Yes, people, hurt their arms, hurt their legs, hurt their knees, whatever. But like this kind of thing is something that you have to be better prepared for. And I don't understand, like you said, you have a seasoned ref, you have all these wrestlers around there. I don't understand how they don't have protocol for this. Like, that's the thing at the end of the day, Aaron, maybe this is a lesson, and this is a tough lesson to keep learning, to be honest with you. But when stuff like this happens, every one of these wrestlers needs to have some step-by-step protocol drilled into their head for what to do when this kind of thing happens. And it may happen again. And so the last thing you want to see is them dragging around an unconscious body, simulating a tag to lie to an audience that isn't even really 100% there in the stadium to begin with, or in the arena to begin with. So the better thing is just to kind of stop the match for a second, check on his health. We all understand these are characters. These are people playing characters, and we will suspend the disbelief while we check on this guy and then go from there. But to wrestle around his body and put him in possibly further danger, I think, is an incredible amount of irresponsibility. I don't know how Cody doesn't send someone down there to stop it. I mean, Cody's the guy in charge of this stuff, right? So it's just odd to me that he wouldn't do that.
Something that concerns me, your concern is valid to me in the fact that where's the leadership? Like, not even from the EVPs, Cody, the Bucks, and Omega, and those guys, but like, where is your locker room leader? Like, where's Jericho? Like, your seasoned veterans that should be, when everybody comes back through the curtain, he should be like in their faces yelling at them. And maybe he did, and we just don't know that it happened. But I guarantee you, if this happened in the WWE and they went backstage and the Undertaker was backstage, Undertaker would be ripping him a new one. That's what would be happening backstage.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have to have these people backstage, and maybe they did, but it's not all gloom and doom on AEW. That was a terrible thing that happened to Alex Reynolds, a terrible thing that happened to Rey Fenix. But also, I do want to just kind of nudge in there. If you didn't see the Jericho and MJF show tune that they did, which I know it's like, why are they singing show tunes in wrestling? I'm a wrestling traditionalist. I'm from the South. I love Southern wrestling, but I absolutely loved it. And I think everybody should go watch it. It's hysterical. Yeah. It's typical Chris Jericho. It's just so outlandish, but also perfect at the same time. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not all bad for AEW. I really like that, and I like what they're doing with Dr. Britt Baker. So if I'm going to be down, on the whole injury thing, I got to bring something to the table that's positive to balance it out. I think those two things were really great for Dynamite this week.
Absolutely. 1,000% agree with you, man. And that's the balance of things, right? Like you want to keep a good product going the whole show, and stuff like this just kind of really unsettles you and frustrates you to no end. We got some super chats that have come in here. Happy J Dog says, "Happy birthday, Rocha." Thank you, J Dog. Always good to see you, brother. It's very kind of you. Stupid Stars Music says, "Happy B-Day, Rocha. We share the same birthday, which is awesome to have it same day as the Outlaw. Hope it was and ends. Great dude. Keep it up." Yeah, definitely having a good time today. One of my friends compiled a 50-minute video of numerous people from my sphere of friends for many, many years, and my family sending me a nice little video. So that was pretty awesome. Amazing. Yeah, pretty awesome situation. And then tonight she's taking me out to dinner. So yes, it's going to be a good time. For sure. Doing the best. Making the best of it. The COVID situation is the COVID situation. So you do what you can. I'm going to check the Streamlabs real quick. Sorry about that. I should have had these up already. Let me take a look, see if anybody sent any Streamlabs in to us. Holy mackerel. Thank you so much. El Santoyo donated. Thank you so much. And Hill Nellums donated. Wow, Hill, you're so kind. That is incredible. He said, "Happy birthday, Rocha. This WrestleMania landed on my birthday, and this match was probably the best present I received that year. Wow, thanks for all you do with the Outlaw Nation channel, and to you and Aaron for doing such a great show every week."
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Hill, you're awesome. And Jim Sandlin said, "Happy birthday, Outlaw. Looking forward to the watch-along. Hi, Aaron." There you go.
Hello. How's it going?
Yeah, we're going to get into this. Here we go. Phoenix is now Pentagon taking his place versus Omega next week in the tournament. What's that all about?
Yeah, so they have this tournament going on right now for the number one contendership for the AEW championship. Yeah. Phoenix and Penta wrestled in the first round. So what happened was Phoenix kind of spiked his head into the mat, so he may have a neck injury.
Yikes.
So Penta will take his place against Kenny Omega, who was phenomenal this past week.
Wow.
Kenny Omega's been really great. Penta and Kenny Omega were in one of the main events of All In a few years ago. It was a great match, and I'm excited to see it again.
Okay. All right. There we go. Thanks to Jake Yakavetta there. Says happy birthday. Thank you, Jake. Thank you. You're the best, brother. Justin Toner says happy birthday, John. Great match choice. Yeah, can't wait to get into it. We're going to get into it here in the next few minutes. What do we got next here, Aaron?
Yeah, we'll go through this one quick. Okay. Bayley, once again, like she made history last week. So you got to be down with Bayley, guys.
Yeah.
And she's done it again by passing Charlotte Flair for number 2 on the list of most combined days as women's champion. That combines the NXT, SmackDown, Raw, and Women's Tag Team Championships. So Bayley has hit 948 days earlier this week, which put her over Charlotte's 947. Of course, Charlotte out with injury. So that's pretty amazing considering where Bayley was just a few years ago, kind of the forgotten person of the 4 horsewomen.
Right.
It is also worth noting that the Fabulous Moolah is number 1 with over 10,000 days. Of course, she was women's champion for like a decade. So when there wasn't a lot of women's wrestling, so you can do with that what you want. And Asuka is actually not far from passing Charlotte Flair also. So look out for Asuka. She may pass Bayley by the time the year is over, depending on how long she stays as champion and if Sasha can take that from Bayley. But another accolade for the former hugger, Bayley, the icon, the legend, Bayley.
I think we've talked about it on the show, Aaron, before she made the heel turn. We've talked about it on another show before, you and I, and we mentioned how, maybe the turning her heel might be the way to go with Bayley. And I know Ryan and I talked about it for sure in our recaps at times, that this kind of thing, the blow up dolls, whatever those things are called, that has a term limit, for it to use a very political term. It has a time limit on it, and eventually fans turn on that kind of stuff and get bored with it. And sure enough, they did with Bayley, because just like Roman Reigns, she was being shoved down the throats a little bit, I think, like the female John Cena. And not that Bayley couldn't handle that or bring that or play that character. She could. But this has been a great change. Something Cena couldn't do, which is go heel. And although Cena did start out essentially like a heel, then go and stay pretty much face most of the time, or the rest of the time, rather. Bayley has done a great move here, a la Becky Lynch. So why not let her keep the title for a while? And, Aaron, you're one of the first ones to tell me that heels don't sell merch, but letting her have the belt this long kind of proves that maybe they do now sell more merch than they did in the past. And so they want to keep her there as the champion, and she's doing great.
Yeah, you can't really complain. I mean, look at what she's done over the past year on SmackDown. Very believable. Done a really great job with this heel turn. It could have gone south in so many ways. She cut her hair. A lot of people were not happy with that. She busted up the wacky waved inflatable arm flailing tube, man. Nobody liked that. And it's just, she's really done a great job, and I'm glad that she was the number 1 woman on the PWI. She's deserved it. She earned it. She's been one of the hardest workers in the company, not just this year, but for the past couple of years. And I'm happy to see it. And, eventually, depending on how long she's going to be with the company, maybe she'll hit that 10,000. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe we shall see. Looking forward to, though. And it could happen to a person who's more dedicated to wrestling than Bayley, and it's pretty awesome to see it happening for her. So I'm 1,000% behind it, and I love the way she's playing this angle and this character so much.
Absolutely. Well, guys, you got any more super chats or Streamlabs?
Let me see. I don't see any super chats, and I don't see any. I don't see any any more Streamlabs. Keep sending those in as we do this. And I just saw this from Justin Toner. Happy birthday, John. Great match choice. And I think that's pretty much it. So are we ready to do this thing?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Pull up the link there. If you haven't, it's in the description. It's in the chat from earlier. If you can pull it up there, I'll give you just a couple minutes to get there while this kind of loads up. The dogs are not barking yet, so that's a good sign for everybody.
There it is again.
And I will count down from 5, and we will get started. Just pull it up and immediately go to pause.
That's a great comment there from Digital Lizard. Bayley, Sasha, and Asuka have carried the shows during the COVID era. It's almost like a league of their own. Yeah, kind of like with the whole situation. Except the guys are still doing it versus the league of their own when the guys were not playing baseball. The guys are still wrestling. So they're doing it even with the guys still wrestling. So much.
But they are arguably doing better I mean, they're in more compelling storylines. You could argue that. I'm not saying that they are 100%, but you could argue that.
Yeah.
Is it also worth noting that you and Carmella share a birthday? So happy birthday to you,
Sure.
and to the fabulous Carmella as well.
Yeah, happy birthday to her. I couldn't do her moonwalk, so much love to her. Yeah, I could not. If I did that, I'd break a leg, so I can't, or a hip or something like that. So I can't do that. But yeah, I'm ready to get into this match. Just to let you give you guys a little bit of backstory. I just love this match. This is one of the greatest matches I've ever seen in my entire life. It's one to go back to and watch. It's been a while since I've watched this, so this is going to be like watching it all over again, a little bit fresh. This is maybe the greatest I've ever seen. And it's ironic that I'm picking a Shawn Michaels match on my birthday. Trust me, it's not lost on me, but it's maybe the greatest match he's ever done, in my opinion. And the Undertaker was pushed to the absolute limit in this match. So I'm looking forward to watching this with all of y'all. Chris Miner wants to know who is worse, Job Squad, Dungeon of Doom, or Retribution?
Dungeon of Doom by 10 million thousand. They are Dungeon of Doom is the worst thing ever. They were brought in just to feud with Hulk Hogan, and they all sucked. All of them. There's no good creations from the Dungeon of Doom except for maybe the Giant, and that's about it.
That's
the rest of them sucked. So I'm not a fan. Sorry.
I go with Aaron on that one. Remember to hit the like button on this thing, and we're about to start now. We've got 60 of you all watching us live, but only 36 likes. Please hit that like button. So let's get going. We're doing a live watch along. The link is in the chat. The link is in the description of this thing. Aaron's going to count it down, then we're going to go. All
right. So I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, then play. Then we're all hit play on play. So 3, 2, 1, play.
Mr. Wrestle. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting the backstory.
Of course. This is why I didn't type anything up in the preamble, because they do all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, this saves me time.
Now, what year is this when this is happening?
This is, if somebody doesn't beat me to it. This is 2009.
2009. All right. When is the Hogan stuff with him? A couple of years later?
I believe that was before. That's around WrestleMania. That's around 2004. So that's about 5 years before this.
I mean, how amazing is this for Shawn Michaels? So many decades doing this thing.
The thing that's worth noting that when I was reading about this match is that, Shawn Michaels in 98, when he was about done, and he was just being a real piece of crap. Like the Undertaker was not a fan of Shawn Michaels
in real life.
During this time period. And I mean, it's the fact that he came back, earned the trust of the locker room. Shawn Michaels did in 03 and wrestled for 8 more years.
Yeah.
And this is something that they both pulled off. Like, they're not in their physical prime here.
No.
So it's like, it's just unbelievable what they pull off. And they've had wars over the years. The first Hell in a Cell match was The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. They've had casket matches. They've crossed paths many times. DX, Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. This time it's just different because they're both certified icons at this point. So it's just different.
Yeah. Oh.
We don't need to see that.
One of my goals in life before I die is to somehow get a WWE level package about the Outlaw. Because I mean, these packages have always been some of the greatest. And Eric has done a fantastic job. Nerd Chronic, got to give him some love. He's put together some incredible promos. But these WWE promos are like fucking next level, man. And it's one of the greatest things about watching professional wrestling. And when people make fun of professional wrestling, I just go, dude, you guys have no idea, because these packages alone are epic, just absolutely epic editing, epic shooting, epic, all of it, the music, all of it, the construction of them all. They're just incredible. And they get you so hyped up for the match.
It's just one thing that if you ever complain about WWE, like, oh, they're terrible, their storylines are awful. Watch a vignette. They're amazing. It doesn't matter what match it's for. It's all amazing and will get you hyped for it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about him coming out in the white. That was awesome. Of course, because of him being religious and everything. Yeah.
Yep. You've got, the holy man versus the Prince of Darkness, the Undertaker.
Yeah. This is awesome. Previewing that match. Eternal life, he says. Oof.
It is also worth noting that Shawn Michaels did win that Hell in a Cell match.
Right.
And cost The Undertaker the title at SummerSlam 97, I believe it was, maybe SummerSlam 96 with Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels whacked him with a chair. I could be wrong on that. I'm very bad at dates when it comes to that.
Trust me, I know I'm terrible at movie release dates, so I get it. Trust me on that. Gone. 16 WrestleManias. This is 17th one. He was 16-0 coming into this match.
97. Okay. Gotcha.
In peace. That is awesome. Sometimes it is hell trying to get to heaven. We're still taking your Streamlabs and the Super Chats as we watch this thing. So if you've got any comments or any things you want to tell us or any birthday wishes you want to put in with a Streamlab or a Super Chat, make sure you send it in. We'll read it here on the show, or I'll bring it up on the screen, what have you, because we are watching this watch-along. If you're joining us now, live, we're watching this WrestleMania 25 watch-along between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. And the link is either in the chat or in the description. Choose either one and join us. And we are
hitting the 4:59 and 5-minute mark just now. So
exactly. What an entrance!
It is an excellent entrance and one of the most expensive Mattel action figures that they make.
Really,
depicting this
exists as a Mattel action figure. Wow!
Absolutely.
Wow, that is incredible.
Mattel had this series of figures called Entrance Greats, and this was one of the Entrance Greats on there with this outfit. I mean, it's an excellent figure. It's really good. So.
Totally forgot about him in the white. Just totally forgot about it. Brilliant cover, having those things come up so he can unhook himself.
And, of course, the best.
To drive the girls. Wow.
It is also worth noting that in 1997, I got to meet Shawn Michaels backstage once.
Wow.
Thanks to my uncle who was working security.
Nice guy?
Well, he wasn't really concerned with me. Him and Psycho Sid were in the back throwing a football. So,
oh boy.
But he did sign my program. So that was nice.
That's good. At least he signed that.
And he hugged me once, which was nice.
That's good.
I don't think he wasn't really concerned with what I was doing.
Oh man, that's funny. Look at that.
I was kicking this around. I got to pitch this to Ryan. Like we did that draft a few weeks ago, and it was a lot of fun. I think that for when Ryan's on, we should do I'll call it a legacy draft. Like we all draft like 10 or 15 people from every era of wrestling. So your first pick would be like Hulk Hogan, and mine would be Ric Flair or something like that. I think that would be a fun episode.
I think that'd be great. I would love that idea. Look at that. Do you rank Jim Ross as your number one match announcer? Or is it Monsoon? Or is it...
I love Jim Ross. I love him to death, but every day and week that I see him on Dynamite, it's less and less. I can't help it.
Yeah. He's just a sexy boy, man. That's all he is. He's not your boy toy, man.
Whoa. Breaking news from Haskell saying the Bucks signed Antonio Brown.
Wow.
He must really like Tom Brady.
Is this real?
I'm at to double check that, Haskell.
Okay.
Let me double check that.
Oh. One of the greats.
He was for sure going to the Seahawks.
Yeah, they said they were kicking the tires on him.
It is legit.
Wow.
according to ESPN, so I'll take their word for it.
Schefter as well. On a 1-year deal.
Wow.
He's going to miss the debut in Week 9 against the Saints. Likely to make his debut in Week 9 against the Saints. Wow. Woo!
Why do they? They don't need him.
So apparently Tom Brady's been, according to Ian Rappaport, Tom Brady was pushing for this for some time. Now it looks to be happening. Yeah. You don't tell Tom.
I don't like him personally. I think he's a bad guy for the locker room, but that's me. You know,
that's fair. But, you have someone like Tom. Hey, look, they said the same thing about Dennis Rodman. And if you're going to go, if you're going to go play with Jordan, he was able to control him, and maybe Tom Brady can control Antonio Brown.
I mean, what did Tom Brady do with Randy Moss? You know what I mean?
Took him to a Super Bowl. Almost won it.
It is also worth noting that Randy Moss went to Marshall, my alma mater.
Thundering Herd, 5-0 right now.
From Rand, West Virginia. That's number 22 in the top 25 poll. The Marshall University Thundering Herd. Thank you very much.
You're out of control, man. You're
22.
2-2.
And they're playing FAU tomorrow, and we'll probably beat them by 100.
So. Wow. Is that Lane Kiffin's old team?
Yeah, Lane Kiffin left him in the dust for Ole Miss.
Of course, he always does. He's a joke. I hate that guy. Oof. The lightness and the darkness. That's right. Darkness. Ha ha.
It is hard to beat JR and King, though. Like, when you really think about it, Gorilla and Bobby, of course, but it's kind of hard to beat peak JR and King. That's so good together.
I don't disagree with you, brother. I really don't. I'd like to, but I can't. It's just too good. They're just incredible together.
Do you think the Undertaker's entrance needs to hurry it up? Like, I kind of feel like that every once in a while. Come on, bro, hurry it up.
He's the only one that gets these kind of entrances, so I don't mind it. But I hear your point.
Like, I can't leave my seat because I got to see it. I was so jacked when I went to WrestleMania 33 or 30, whatever WrestleMania it was in Orlando.
Yeah.
And it was him versus Roman Reigns, and he left all of his gear in the ring. I was like, oh my God, I just saw the retirement of The Undertaker. Wow. That's amazing. And then he came back the next year and the year after that.
Oh, right. So many people thought he was going to be done. Do you think he's got one more left in him, or do you think finally it's done?
I think he's finally done.
Okay. All right.
And that's okay.
And you know what?
I've been pushing for that for a while.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree with you there. For years. Oh, that's true. It's a mind game. I should come in like this, really piss off Harloff. Like a 10-minute intro for the Outlaw. He would go insane.
Yeah, because he would want to do it first.
I think it'd be more about the fact that, we got to get out of here. We got to pay extra if we stay longer. Look at that stone cold look on Shawn Michaels. Do you think these guys kind of really, because I know obviously we all know the results are predetermined, but they still have to perform, and people forget about that. People kind of dismiss that. But the human element of this all is you want to put on a great show. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, maybe these things aren't talked. Maybe, these are talked. Oh, sorry. Obviously these are talked about ahead of time. However, the idea of putting on a good show is still part of the equation. So just because you know the result doesn't mean you're necessarily going to have a great show or a great match. So there must be nerves there to do a great match, to perform a great match, to carry off a great match. And people seem to discount that a lot of the time when they talk about this business.
Well, especially with these two guys being who they are and on the WrestleMania card, they've got to be, feeling the pressure of you've got to put on a great match. So go out there and do it. And these two, there's got to be some gamesmanship in there too. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull this off.
Right.
There's got to be that element to it. That's just natural in competition.
Yeah. And the great ones feel the nerves, feel the pressure because they, it's important to them to put on a good show for themselves and for the fans.
I think you could say without much argument that these two are probably the two greatest superstars in the history of WrestleMania, Talk about two guys that really put it on.
That's fair. That's actually
you could
really
have
fair.
a top 10. Your top 10 WrestleMania matches could consist of just Shawn Michaels matches if you wanted to.
It's fair. Absolutely fair.
I mean, there's a reason they call him Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah. I almost chose the match with him and Undertaker where Shawn was the ref. That's a great match as well.
Oh, for the Hell in a Cell with Triple H? Yeah, it's a good one.
But this one was, I remember when I watched this one in live, because I've never missed a WrestleMania. Right. And I remember when I watched this one in live time, and I mean never, which means number one on. I just remember being so shocked at how good of a match this was. Because, Shawn's a smaller guy, skinnier guy, Taker's so big. But, the chemistry is just off the charts between these guys.
Yep.
And it's, the big guy has to make the little guy look, and I don't mean little, obviously, but, next to Undertaker, a lot of people are little. But you got to make the little guy look like it's possible that he could win. And that's not always easily done. Certainly Goldberg can't sell a match to save his life against a little guy. But I think Taker does a fantastic job with it. And I also think, what's his face? Lesnar does a great job of it as well.
I was just going to say Brock Lesnar does a really good job of it too.
Mm-hmm. When we watched the Punk match a few weeks ago, basically incredible how he sold Punk.
And then, Undertaker and CM Punk had a great match at WrestleMania as well.
Right.
Worth noting. And it would be next year at WrestleMania 26 where they would do this match again.
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels would officially retire for good, kind of.
Yeah.
He would have one more match that we don't need to talk about. That's not how I want to remember Shawn Michaels. I want to remember at the top, not bald-headed Shawn Michaels.
Right. Yeah, Haskell helping us out here. Said WrestleMania 25, 26, 27, and 28. Good Lord, what a quadrilogy versus HBK in 25 and 26. Triple H wants revenge in 27 and 28, and with HBK as a ref in 28. And that epic, oh my God, false finish. Millions thought Taker had lost. Right. I remember that. How come people don't talk about Taker like in the same breath that they talk about Flair or Hogan? What is it? Is it because he's so tall and so big, it seems like, well, of course he's great at it. Do you think that's it? Because when people talk about
really
Kobe and they talk about LeBron, they never talk about Duncan. And yet Duncan was one of the greatest. And I feel like Taker's a little bit like Duncan. Like he's revered by everybody, but they don't necessarily put him in the same classification as Hogan or Flair.
I think that's a very apt comparison. I wish I had an answer for you. Maybe because he's not as, flamboyant as Ric Flair or a Hulk Hogan, or he's not on all these shows. He's just being the Undertaker, like his gimmick for a long time was being dead. So he wasn't in all these interviews. He wasn't on TV. You don't hear about him going to the hotel with a bunch of chicks. You never heard about that.
Right. Yeah, you've never heard bad things about Taker, this guy, Mark, I forget his last name again. Mark Calloway, right. You never hear bad things about Mark Calloway. And in fact, like watching that Last Ride documentary, it was so awesome to see him just being himself, talking about stuff, and other people talking about it as well. Good question from Malcolm's Middle Earth Media. He said, were you guys happy that Brock broke the streak? If it wasn't broken, which current WWE wrestler would you like to see break the streak if it hadn't been broken? What about you?
At the time, I hated it because I just didn't want to see it happen.
Right.
But in time, I was fine with it because it helped Brock go on like a hell of a run.
Yeah.
But outside of that, if I could have picked one guy, I would have just made it Roman Reigns, who ended up doing it a couple years later anyway.
Yeah, true.
That would have been the guy for me. Or Bray Wyatt.
Wyatt would have been
the guy. For sure. But
Hill Nellums said, I saw Punk, Undertaker, and then Taker Lesnar in person. Both ranges of emotions where I wanted Punk to win and Lesnar to lose. Sadly, you came out on the wrong end on both sides of those, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I don't know. The streak ending was kind of anticlimactic in a way because you didn't think it was going to be Lesnar.
It's pretty climactic. It shocked a lot of people.
Yeah. Because I mean, the Triple H thing with Shawn Michaels as the ref, that would have made sense, right? The deck was just stacked against him. But the twist that it didn't happen then was great. And Triple H's match against Undertaker at WrestleMania was also in consideration for me in my head. It was a great match.
Roman Ayala's comment, Rey Mysterio should have ended the streak. Just see yourself out. See yourself out of the chat. See yourself out.
Come on now.
Oh, that's clowning. Come on now.
Malcolm said, I would love to see The Fiend versus The Undertaker. That would be an interesting match. Man.
I think the ship has sailed on that one.
Yeah, unfortunately so, yeah.
Yeah, I think Sting versus The Undertaker was like your last marquee Undertaker match that you could have had, and that sailed as well, I think.
Yeah. Unfortunately, age catches up to everybody. No matter how much this is like predetermined result stuff, you still have to convey a good match in the ring. And you still have to seem believable. And when you start to show your age, kind of like Robert De Niro did in Kill the Irishman, and he was trying to foot stomp that dude. You're like, when you show the age, people are like, oh, that does not look good. Hill says, if Taker wasn't hurt from the beginning of that match and against Lesnar and how it went, I wondered if I would have felt differently. That's fair. Oh,
I came to accept it in time. It took me a long time to do it.
Yeah. Oof. Undertaker versus Karrion Kross, says Hour. Yeah, that'd be a good match.
I'd watch it.
I don't think Karrion's a few years away from actually being a contender to beat Undertaker. If he fought Undertaker now, it would be a good match, but it wouldn't be. You'd never think that Karrion would actually win the match. And I think a few years from now, Karrion will have that.
In a few years, I mean, come on, we're talking about the Undertaker here. I don't think in a few years is going to be applicable.
Obviously. But I mean, in a utopian timeline where they are contemporaries, Karrion would need a little more before he got to that point where he'd be believable he could win.
Crippler Crossface by Shawn Michaels. Don't call it that, but it's the Crippler Crossface. Made famous by Chris Beep.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about the Dark Side of the Ring? We didn't talk about that. Season 3 coming from that. Got announced here earlier this week. 14 episodes, right?
Extended season. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to talk about, but I'm excited.
Yeah. Have there been rumors at all? Have you seen any on the wrestling message boards about rumors or anything?
No, not really. I haven't seen too much about it. One of them was the story. What was it? The story of the Ultimate Warrior was the one that was being floated around.
Whoa.
So that could be interesting. He did have those homophobic rants that he went on and different things. So could be interesting to watch.
I'll agree with that. I think it'd be interesting. Yes, we did see the musical Roman Ayala earlier in the show. We talked about it. Aaron talked about it with MJF and Jericho. So yes,
I talked about loving it, and my wrestling roots would allow me not to love it, but I loved it anyway.
Ooh, sidewalk slam. Also, we talked about Kamala. We've talked about other wrestlers with who are big but limber. I mean, Taker is incredible. Just incredible for that body.
No doubt about it. The guy's workout regimen is unreal. Even to this day, it's unreal.
Like Sid Vicious, you could argue, is the same body type. Yet he was beset with injuries. Whereas Taker rarely got those injuries that knocked him out for long periods of time consistently. And he wrestled for a very long time. Still around.
And Sid would take summers off for softball league. That's a firm thing.
What?
I swear.
What?
Plus, Undertaker's got a younger wife to keep him, and I don't mean this in a pervy way. I just mean like he's going to keep him young. She has a workout regimen. She's going to keep him in shape.
It's a great point. I always love that flip up he does.
One day I'm going to be able to do that. You watch. Strong Style exclusive.
I'm down.
Oh, the dreaded atomic drop.
Roberto Arsenal says, wasn't Abyss from TNA supposed to sign with the WWE back in the day to face Undertaker, but Abyss had second thoughts and didn't sign? Is that true?
That was a rumor. I don't know if that's true. If it was, I mean, that would have been a cool match to see back in the day. But Abyss does work for WWE now, just backstage as an agent. But
yeah,
I would have liked to have seen that back in his heyday. That would have been cool.
Why did he stop? Did he just kind of hit a wall as a big dude? And he's like, all right, I'm enough.
Yeah, I think he just didn't want to put his body through that anymore. And I think what would have happened if Abyss came over is like he looks too much like Kane and Mick Foley together. So it would have been weird.
He was definitely a poor man's Foley. No offense to Abyss.
But Abyss in his own time was pretty good. Oh!
That was a miss. But that's how you cover it. You do something like this.
Hell's Gate. And the MMA term for that is a go-go plata.
That's a great move. A great submission move.
It hurts like shit, yeah.
I bet. Now, was this the main event, or was this like the second to the last or third to the last?
I don't believe this was the main event. I could be wrong. Let me see. Let me look it up. I mean, how could you follow it? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
It looks like the main event was Triple H versus Randy Orton.
Oh, okay. Oof, shit. No one talks about that match.
I believe that's when Randy Orton like punted Stephanie McMahon and then kissed her while Triple H was chained to the ropes, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, I remember that one. That's right. Yeah, Hill said it was like the third to last match. Yeah.
God, how do you follow this?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Thank you for all the birthday wishes to everyone who's leaving messages on the chat. Yeah, it means a lot. Thank you so much. And I'm enjoying spending the birthday with you all and with Aaron here watching this match. So thank you very much.
And hit up that Amazon wish list.
Yeah, I have an Amazon wish list. It's out there. If you want to send me something, I'll probably tweet about it as well. And of course, the Streamlabs and Superchats are open here. So please send those in as well. So, and the Streamlabs address is right above Aaron's head or in the description of this video. So. Roman says we should do Eddie versus Brock WrestleMania 20. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's a possibility. I know we're going to get away from doing the recaps of the classic matches, so we can always revisit that at some point. We're kind of changing up the format.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus!
Holy hell! Christ. Oh,
God, how does that not hurt?
No give. No give.
That is concrete, and that's like maybe 3 inches of a pad between you and concrete.
I know we just talked about Alex Reynolds being injured, but like if Shawn Michaels would have got hurt here, we're still rolling. That's just how it's going to be.
Oh, man. Yeah, Triple H versus Norton was the main event. There you go. Yeah.
My father-in-law, this is kind of a sidebar, but my father-in-law and I were watching Halloween the other day, like the original Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
And where Michael Myers gets stabbed and then sits up. He had like an aha moment. He goes, "That's why the Undertaker does that, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, that's where I got it from."
Right. Good point. Yeah.
This is where the Undertaker about dies. So, like for real.
Yeah.
This is very bad.
Jesus.
Good Lord.
Who was was that a former wrestler or something?
It was. It's worth noting that is Sim Snuka, the son of Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Oh, wow.
That was supposed to catch the Undertaker when he fell and did not do a great job.
Yeah.
But did a good enough job of, not killing him.
Yeah.
Which is good.
J-Dog making a great point.
It was damn close. It was damn close to being killed.
Yeah. They've got to show the replay, right? He's probably lying there. Snuka is like, "Oh God, I messed that up."
I guarantee he got it from the back. I guarantee it.
Let's take a look at this real quick.
Didn't see much anymore.
Oh, well, to be fair, he tried. But sometimes you got to sacrifice your body, and trying to catch him with two hands was not the way to go.
Bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad all around.
Yeah. Hill said, I thought the dive from The Undertaker was the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lie. Not a lie. G-Russ512 says he was at this WrestleMania live. It was amazing. Yeah, there you
go. This was in Toronto? Is that where it was?
All right.
I think. I'm probably wrong about that, too.
Oh, where it was located?
No, this was in Houston.
Texas. I think it was in Houston, yeah. Oof. The cameraman is not moved. This match, in terms of personality, is like Batman versus Iron Man, says Dark Jedi Knight. Interesting. Interesting comparison.
Who's who?
Oh, good question. I feel like The Undertaker would be Batman.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, Shawn Michaels is brash, like Tony Stark, and Undertaker's more dark. Yeah, that's very apt.
Dark and quiet. So do you think they're like, no, what's happening here? Shawn is like, they're trying to waste time here because they know Taker's legitimately hurt.
Like, let's let Taker see what's going on.
Right.
Let's so you have to assess that. Go ahead and count him out.
Right.
Undertaker's like, holy crap, I have to get up now. This sucks.
Yeah. So what are the clues? Yeah, I guess him moving around are the clues. This is great shit heel stuff from Shawn. What great drama from the Taker. Climbing up like that. Wow.
So Shawn was like, yay.
Just great drama. Great drama. That's how you
And would you want to end the streak by count out?
Yeah, right. Thank you, AJ. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you who are watching us here and wishing happy birthday to me. I appreciate it. Please give the video a like if you're coming in for the first time. Hit that thumbs up button. And remember the Streamlabs and the Super Chats, as you see. Oh, we're still taking them. We're still talking about them. Start answering them as we watch this match. Thank you, Daniel. Oh, he's got Sweet Chin music dialed up. Ah, oh, Taker.
Oh, not so fast.
Oof.
Oh, such a good choke slam.
Wow. Two. Here's what's incredible. We've been watching this video for almost over 31 minutes, and yet it feels like we started it about 5 minutes ago. This is just one of the greatest matches.
That ref count was weak.
Yeah, it was
some weak sauce.
Well, it was hurt, you know.
Well, okay. It was whack. Boom. Ah.
Oh.
So good.
God damn. One day I'm going to
Michaels hits that. Like, I don't care. Dolph Ziggler, the Young Bucks, whoever does a super kick, no one does it like Shawn Michaels ever.
I agree with you 1,000%. If I ever turn heel on Dan Merle and he ever agrees to it, I feel like a super kick is the way to go.
You better stretch out. Gotta get it high, son. Gotta get it high. Bro.
It's because Dan is tall. Right. Maybe I'll super kick him while he's sitting at the table after the match.
Probably a lot easier, yeah.
Dude, also no one does that better than he does.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that flip up is just incredible. I love it every time. Do you know how good you have to be to do that? Like the core work you have to do to be able to do that. Oh, there it is.
Did you see that video that was going not viral, but yesterday of Ricochet who did a backflip while sitting Indian style?
No, holy shit.
It was unreal. I'll send it to you. It was unreal.
Oh. I mean, how strong. God damn how strong he is. Just yanks him up. Ooh, last ride. Boom. That's head first, bro.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, so
see,
good.
if you notice one thing about wrestling, the first thing I noticed when I was younger watching this is when people take bumps, like you notice how they like the first thing you learn in wrestling is how to take a flat back bump.
Yeah.
And that's what Shawn Michaels just did.
Oh, you're right.
And it's such the base for everything, taking a flat back bump. When you really break it down and look at stuff, you can tell. It's pretty interesting.
Wow.
Just fundamental wrestling right there. Looked like it killed him, but probably one of the safest landings you could have.
So had The Undertaker never beaten Shawn Michaels at this point?
No, he'd beat him before, but just not on like a, this was what, like 10 years before 10 years, 12 years since the last time they fought each other.
Right,
Holy hell.
Wow.
Forgot about that.
Wow.
Notice the Undertaker slid his body midair to take a flat back bump.
Yep. Well, that's called a draw, I think, Jerry.
Oh, got to skin the cat.
Oof. Oh, good call. Oh, my God. Just the ferocity with which he yanks Michaels. Ooh. That's it. Everyone thinks it's done. I mean, right. Is this the first time anyone had ever kicked out of the tombstone?
I think it is at this, like at WrestleMania. I think so.
Okay. I mean, just look at the face. When have you ever seen The Undertaker at a loss for what's happening? Just
perfect.
Great work.
Too.
Great work.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's about to get real. Here it comes. It's a $10,000 fine in the NFL right there. Why is that such a big deal? Why is the throat slash a big thing that people get upset about? I don't understand it.
People pick random stuff to be upset about, dude. That's life now. I get that there are literally legitimate things to get upset about, but stupid things like this throat slash. Ah!
DDT.
Almost got that right. D.
Mm.
Oh. didn't quite get there. He didn't put his head to the mat.
I'm going to let it go.
Fair.
I'm going to let it go. No, AJ, they're not mad about the Undertaker's throat slash. I just know that in the NFL, if you do it, like, it's a penalty or something, and people got all pissy about it.
Yeah,
and I don't understand it.
They did.
It's like, oh, can't do that.
Mr. WrestleMania. Now, at this point, do you remember thinking he might actually win this thing here?
Yeah, I remember I was like, if anybody could do this, it would be Shawn Michaels that could win this match.
Good point.
And then talk about a beautiful elbow drop right there.
J-Dog telling people to watch other things but this channel. What's wrong with you, J-Dog? I know the World Series.
J-Dog, what the heck?
I know SmackDown's up, but we're watching this. It's my birthday, man. Have some respect.
J-Dog, it's been on for 2 minutes. DVR it.
Exactly.
We got 7 minutes left, J-Dog. Come on.
Come on. Work with us, J-Dog. Oh. I love this match. There it is.
Picture in picture, J-Dog.
I'm sure the Dodgers not going to score 12 runs in one inning in the first inning again.
Oh, that's right. SmackDown's not even on right now, is it?
No, not right now. I don't know. The West Coast, I don't know if it's 5 o'clock here on the West Coast. I don't know. Oh, that's it.
Bam!
That was so perfectly hit. Top of the head, dude. Oh my God. How close is that, dude? I'm telling you, one of the
God Almighty.
One of the greatest skills you'll ever have as a wrestler is timing. And I don't mean in the ring and back and forth, although of course that matters. But the 3 3/4 count, the 3 9/10 count, to bring that shoulder up just at the last second and not telegraph it with the rest of your body is an incredible skill. And not a lot of wrestlers have it. That was incredible.
A lot of people in the chat saying SmackDown's on FS1 tonight. Yep, that's right. I forgot about that.
That's fair.
Braves aren't in the World Series, so I don't care. I don't care who wins. And I love Peyton Royce, but fuck the Dodgers. It's all right.
This is awesome. Now, are they speaking here? God, for God's sakes, put me away.
God, let's go to the finish. Go home.
Oh, we're doing this thing for 40 minutes now.
Oh,
yeah. What a shot.
What a great punch.
Oh. I mean, the way Taker just does that punch, dude, it looks so brutal. The way because he holds it right at the last second, man. It's done so well. Plus the adrenaline, right?
Scott Hall, Undertaker, Jerry Lawler, Ric Flair, they all throw really good working punches.
True. Even Hogan, I mean. No, I'm just joking. All right, fine, not Hogan. Fine.
Calm down.
Nobody doesn't like
next week,
Hogan, though.
Next week, I believe we're doing a watch along of Jake Roberts and Sting. It's a short one, so yeah. It'll be our last one. It's like 15 minutes. It's not very long.
There you go. Woo! Oh. So at this point, you don't know what's going to happen at this point. Who's going to win?
Yeah, so it's almost like a complete reset at this point.
Yeah. Also, did we check on Snuka the cameraman to make sure he's all right?
Who cares?
Did anyone check on?
He screwed up. Get him out of there.
You imagine Jimmy's face when he comes to the back too. He's like,
"What'd you do, brother?
You're not my son, brother. Tamina, you gotta carry the mantle, brother." Oh, it's such a ballsy move. Oh. That's it.
What a finish.
Oh. And you know he's exhausted. He's absolutely exhausted. I mean, I know WrestleMania.
Side note, I hate Justin Roberts as an announcer. Side note.
Yeah.
Really not a fan.
Yeah, I don't like him on AEW, man. He's terrible in AEW. I should be doing that.
He sounds like too much of a mark, and I don't like that.
I just watched
it's
that
like
highlight.
Like it's too much.
Rhino goring what's her face, and the way he called it, I was like, "Oh, come on, man!" 17-0 rest in peace. Oh, a little Welsh accent there. Nice. Shout out to the Wales people. Look at that. So great, man. You know, I know the WrestleMania tickets are expensive, but imagine, oh, Jesus, they're going to go back to this again? Literally, dude, a missile to his neck on the ground.
Well, there goes. We almost made it the whole episode. We almost made it the whole time, Bayley.
Woo! There it is.
There's Bayley.
Oh, yeah, Haskell. Yeah, many people say Macho Man and Steamboat. No, I'd put this over Macho Man and Steamboat. As much as I love Macho Man and Steamboat, we rewatched it for the show. I just think this is the one, man. Oh.
You go put her outside real quick.
All right, bro. Fantastic. Oh, dude.
The worst. There they all go.
One of the best ones he has ever delivered, dude. They all
want to watch Borat too. That's like the thing we're all getting ready to watch here. This household. When my wife gets off work, we're going to watch Borat 2.
Nice. Let me know if you liked it, man. I'm hearing conflicting things. So
I heard that our friend Ryan Satin did enjoy it, and that it's very close to the first one, which I love the first one. I think it's amazing.
All right.
So I'm excited. Excited to watch it.
Caltorek sent in a Streamlab. He said, wanted to best Undertaker memory, work nights and got home about midnight. Little Lauren came out to sleep by me in the living room watching Heat. That De Niro Pacino scene was quiet, so I turned up the volume. Then the guns blazed in the final heist. Okay. I don't know how that's an Undertaker memory, but all right.
Maybe it was a graveyard shift. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that correlates to the Undertaker, but appreciate the Streamlab. That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
I've gone ahead and turned it off at this point because I don't need to see all this stuff.
That's fair enough. All right.
Let's. So yeah, next week it's going to be Sting versus Jake the Snake Roberts. Coal Miner's glove on a pole match. That's going to be exciting from Halloween Havoc. Can't not wait for that. There you go, Jake the Snake Roberts and the Stinger. So another Halloween Havoc, and then we're done.
Nice.
As far as these go for a little bit, we'll figure out a watch along, something along the way, and figure out some good content. But
yeah. I mean, we keep talking about the possibility of breaking this thing off into its own channel. That'll allow us to do more watch alongs, more news stories. Maybe Aaron wants to do some solo stuff on here as well. Those things that we're kicking around the idea and the possibility, but certainly that maybe down the road will be the decision we make. So we'll have more content and more watch-alongs and what have you with different people, with guests. It doesn't have to be on the same day. So we'll explore that as well. I can't thank you all enough for watching us live here. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap up here. Thanks to the 66 of you who are watching us live right now. Thanks to everybody's kind birthday wishes here in the chat. Thanks for all the likes. We got 70 likes. Thank you so much. If you're watching this later, please give a like as well. That's that thumbs up button that you see there below the video. Give it a thumbs up. And, of course, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about this match, what you thought about the comments we had in the 2 earlier news items that we discussed and everything like that. So give us some love there. And Aaron, where can they find you and everything you got going on, brother man?
You can find me on Twitter at only Aaron Turner. And if you got a Nintendo Switch for a good deal, I'm buying. Just wanted to say that.
There you go. I got an Xbox One X we can talk about, but sure.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
And thank you all again so much. And please follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. If there's anything you can do for my birthday that you haven't done yet, and you can't contribute, you can't send any money in because it's tough times right now, the least you can do for me as a present, or the best you can do for me as a present, is to follow me on social media and to subscribe to the channel and click that bell. Those subscriptions are so important. Shows YouTube that we're building and building and building as a channel with all this different content. Last night, debate watch along. Today, pro wrestling. It's all all here under the umbrella of the Outlaw Nation. And I love doing it. I love doing it with you all. I love doing it with Aaron, and I love doing it for you all as well. All right, that's it from us. You all take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you next time on a brand new episode of Strong Style. Yeah.